Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Eric McGrew. I am with Eric's Tree Service in Montrose, Colorado. And before we get this video started, I just want to make a brief disclaimer. I am not sponsored by Sherrilltree Arborfest in any way, fashion, or form. Everything I got from Sherrilltree or Arborfest was what other attendees got, depending on how involved they got. Like the climbing course, all the members got certain things that others didn't get. But that was it. I didn't get anything special. I'm not paid. So when I talk about Arborfest and the products I got there through Sherrilltree, it's just my own concept and opinion on it, not a paid sponsor. That needs to be very, very clear. Had opportunities, but anybody could have had those opportunities if they made those same connections. So just needed to get that out and there in front of you guys before I start the video. So here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to my videos. My name is Eric McGrew and I am with Eric's Tree Service in Montrose, Colorado. And I am giving you a heads up on what's to come on my channel. So while I was at Arborfest, a bunch of stuff went on, which I will talk about. I also bought a bunch of equipment. Not a bunch, but some. I bought a number of pieces that I think are really important for all of us, no matter if you're a climber or a bucket worker. So that's important. And I'll be reviewing those. So I've got a camp safety harness, bucket harness, an ANSI rated shoulder fall restraint harness. I've got some stuff coming in the mail that I've got to wait on, and I'll be going over that stuff as well. In fact, I don't even remember everything I got, but here on the ground, you'll see that I also picked up a used Husky battery powered top saw. I got a new Hiochi. I don't remember. I'll have to look at how it's spelt on the blade, and that is packed away. The blade is, because I just got in, but I got that to go over and why I bought that one versus others. I got this really, really cool notch. Where is it at? Right there. Gear bag. And I got a new Arborfest rope bag. I got some, what's it called? Some t-shirts. This hat says Arborfest 2019 on it, which was cool. And I also picked up this guy here, which is a stainless steel block that I will be using in my rigging stuff for sure. And then I drug something else home with me. So I got more stuff coming in the mail, which I'll go over for sure as time as it comes in and that kind of stuff. But you may have already seen on my Instagram post, but I got this guy here. How cool is that? So it's a small guy. It's just the BC. Pointing at it versus what the camera shows is very, very different, but it's a BC 625A. So it's just a 6-inch chipper by Vermeer, of course, because, well, Vermeer is good. And I just pulled this thing 350, maybe 400 miles with these tiny little tires at 60 miles an hour. Did okay. I don't know that I would suggest doing that every day, but it did okay for sure. And so yeah, I've got this to go over, the pros and cons of it. So I've been using a 700 series, which is a 7-inch chipper from Vermeer. Really, really like it. This has some definite differences that we'll go over what I think about those differences as well. And we'll just kind of review this. Now, this is a discontinued model of chipper, just so you know, but because of that, you can actually get them fairly cheap. The great thing about this chipper in particular for me was that somebody I know had the chipper and they wanted to get rid of it at a decent, I mean, it was a good price. It wasn't like a steal of a deal, like they were asking pennies on the dollar, but it was a good deal. And he is super meticulous, and this thing was really, really well taken care of. So super stoked to have that with me, and I'll be going over that a little bit more. I do still have off-road videos, if any of you guys are into off-roading, that are coming up as well. So I've got that. I've got currently 3 climbing jobs this next week, or within the next 2 weeks actually. And I'm actually going to end up climbing that little guy right there a little bit, not like fully climbing, but with a harness and a long lanyard to prune him out, because, well, do I need to explain? And that will be probably going in a video, and I'll talk about my methods of doing that. Plus, I'm probably going to hop up in these guys again and talk a little bit about some redirects and things. And I will be going over what I thought, pros and cons of the climbing course at Sherrilltree by NATS, or North American Training Solutions. Now, I want to make it very, very clear that even though there are pros and cons, I really felt like I got my money's worth out of the training course. I know some other guys didn't, but it's a lot about how you perceive things, right? So we'll go over those. So I definitely don't want it to sound like I'm being hypocritical or contradictory, because I said in one video that I liked it, and then now another video I say, oh, well, there were pros and cons. There were pros and cons. I'll go over 5 things that I liked at the Sherrilltree Arborfest Expo, and I'll go over some pros and cons of the expo that, you know, they're working on. And I still think with the pros and cons, if you've ever been to an expo or a trade show of any sort, it's rare that one goes fully smoothly. It's a lot to manage and organize, honestly. I used to build trade show expos, the displays and things for companies. Like a lot of people buy pre-made stuff, which we used to build and sell. But then when I worked in the sign industry, we used to actually custom fabricate for Toyota and like some of the big boat companies. We would custom fabricate these elaborate signage displays. Now, the ones at Sherrilltree were not that elaborate, but still, it's a lot to manage when you've got, you know, 20 or more vendors. I don't even know how many were at Sherrilltree, but there were a number. And you've got, especially like Sherrilltree, it's not just booths where people are showing, but it's actually like full-on displays of how things work and rigging. And they did chainsaw shows where they showed protective clothing and how it works. And some of that I didn't get to see this time because I took CPR and I took first aid and I took the climbing class. So I am now certified in CPR, first aid, and I got my I will be getting a certificate of completion for the climbing through NATS, which if you're not sure what that's all about, we can talk about that in another video as well. So there's lots of things I want to explain about what went on at the show. It's always a balance. I plan on being back next year for sure. The thing is that you get something, but you miss something else. So we'll talk about the pros and cons of what it was that I got, but also what I missed because of the choices that I made. And we'll go from there. So I hope that these videos are interesting to you guys. I hope that you're liking the content. I will continue to put up videos, and I will continue to not only go over equipment and stuff, and please understand, I'm no expert climber. I don't claim to be. I know my limitations to a large degree, and all I'm trying to do is be a better climber every day. Let me rephrase that. I'm trying to be a better tree service professional / arborist every day. And I say that because I'm not certified in arboriculture or arboriculture, however you want to say it. I know arboriculture is the correct way to say it, but a lot of people don't say that, so there you go. And then I know there's a whole debate about whether or not I classify as an arborist if I don't have my certification. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, there are a bunch of guys out there that are CA and don't follow the practices that they have tested on and couldn't tell you the correct answers to a lot of that stuff these days because they just don't care. So being certified in itself, unless it's being certified crazy, doesn't really hold much. But I think there's a lot to talk about what is classified or what can be classified as an actual arborist. So that's something that we'll be talking about in the future as well. I've got more podcasts coming out as well. A lot of it will be on these same topics. So if you want to listen to stuff in the car, of course it's the same topic, but I talk more in depth about them than I do on these videos a lot of times. And you can get some of my viewpoints on that. And I hope to be interviewing people like Travis Morales, who is one of the NATS instructors and also is the owner of New Leaf Arboriculture in just outside of Destin, Florida. Levi Conrad from Levi Conrad Arbor Services, I think it is. I hope to be able to interview him. We're talking through that. I've talked to a few guys at the show, but we'll talk about all that stuff in a future episode. So got lots coming you guys' way, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out the links in the description if there's any affiliate links through Amazon. When you purchase those or purchase through those links, I get a very small % of what you purchase, and that helps me keep the channel going. And last but not least, I want to make very, very clear, I paid to go to Arborfest by Sherrilltree. I was not sponsored in any form or fashion. I was not paid for going to Sherrilltree in any fashion. I got what everybody else got, and I had opportunities that anybody there could have had if they had made the same connections or whatnot. So I don't want it to be misconstrued that I am talking about Arborfest so much because you know, I was paid to, and therefore I should, you know, I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm promoting this because I am a paid sponsor. I am not at any way. So just know that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.